Albania is a small country on the Balkan Peninsula of southeastern Europe, still dealing with the after effects of communism, but it has an iconic Mediterranean scenery, a plethora of mountains, and one of the most widely liked flags in the world. Andorra is a small country located between Spain and France in the Pyrenees Mountains that is co-run by the President of France and the Catholic Bishop of Urgell in Catalonia, and it is the largest country in the world not to have an airport. Austria is a country in Central Europe that is known for its mountainous landscapes and its picturesque European architecture, as well as its history as the Austro-Hungarian Empire and its role in the First World War. Belarus is a country in Eastern Europe, a former Soviet republic called Byelorusia, which keeps its Russian influences on display and is also home to many casinos and nearly year-round winter conditions. Belgium is a small country in Western Europe that is known for its historic neutrality and colonization of the Congo, as well as its flat scenery, the housing of the European Union, and its iconic waffles. Bosnia and Herzegovina is a small country on the Balkan Peninsula, home to a mountainous and iconic Mediterranean environment scarred with mass graves and landmines from the Bosnian War and genocide in 1995. Bulgaria is a small country on the Balkan Peninsula, known for its role in the Balkan Wars and World War I, its Russian-like language, mountainous and forested land, and scenes around the river Danube. Croatia is a country on the Balkan Peninsula, a former Yugoslavian country known for its Mediterranean-style architecture, seen in its capital Zagreb and in the walled city of Dubrovnik, both of which are popular tourist destinations. Cyprus is an island in the Mediterranean Sea, dominated by a Turkish presence in the north and once dominated by a British military presence, rounded off with a large amount of Greek cultural and architectural influence with its Mediterranean environment. The Czech Republic, or Czechia, is a Central European country known for its Slavic language, unique scenery, food, and architecture, as well as its huge amount of castles and its history in the Eastern Bloc as Czechoslovakia. Denmark is a country that is in Scandinavia despite only bordering Germany. It's known for being one of the happiest countries in the world, as well as owning the world's oldest flag, the first Lego production, and the largest island in the world, Greenland. England is a country in the United Kingdom known for housing London, the capital of the UK, with many recognizable landmarks, as well as many of the United Kingdom's major cities, and for having some of the most well-known history, architecture, and literature, and also for having the vast English countryside that includes the Cotswolds of southern England. Estonia is a country bordering the Baltic Sea in northeastern Europe, a country known for its medieval architecture, cold climate, and for being occupied by both the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany during World War II. The Faroe Islands are a chain of volcanic islands in the North Atlantic Ocean owned by Denmark, home to grass-blanketed cliffsides, small Nordic villages, and its connection to the Old Norse times and its culture, customs, and language. Finland is a Nordic country that is not technically in Scandinavia, home to the vast snowy Laplands, the least amount of air pollution in the world, some of the highest happiness and safety rankings in the world, and a language that is very different from other Nordic countries. France is a country in Western Europe famous for its iconic culture found on display in its capital city, Paris, with wineries, art museums, and famous landmarks, as well as its history during the World Wars, its own revolution in the 1700s, and for being one of the major colonial powers from the 15th to 20th centuries. Germany is a country in northwestern Europe famous for its iconic food like sausages, bread, and beer, its production of cars like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Volkswagen, its large amount of castles, and its dark history as the antagonist in both World Wars, especially as Nazi Germany in World War II. Greece is a country on the southern tip of the Balkan Peninsula, famous for being the pinnacle of Mediterranean-style environments with the beaches and architecture on its over 6,000 islands and its mainland, which is also home to Athens, a 3,000-year-old city that was one of the centerpieces of ancient philosophy and politics. Hungary is a country in Central Europe known for its unique style of architecture, its pristine capital Budapest on the river Danube, and for being one half of the historically powerful Austria-Hungarian Empire. Iceland is a country in the North Atlantic Ocean which has been repeatedly ranked one of, if not the safest countries in the world, but is also known for its distinctive language, its beautiful south coast, and for being one of the best places in the world to see the Northern Lights. Ireland is an island in the Atlantic Ocean just west of Great Britain, known for its culture and influence on American culture, as well as its vast and green countrysides and for having some of the oldest pubs and castles in Europe. Italy is a country in southern Europe, famous for its iconic food, culture, and architecture, and is also known historically as being a fascist state in the Axis powers during World War II, and for once being the centerpiece of the Roman Empire, one of the largest empires in history, responsible for establishing a lot of Western cities, countries, and cultures. Kosovo is a self-declared and semi-recognized country on the Balkan Peninsula. Claimed by Serbia, 97 countries recognized, which is known for its cultural ties to Albania, which has resulted in an interesting blend of Serbian and Albanian peoples and architecture. Latvia is a country on the Baltic Sea in northeastern Europe, a cold and forested country known for its capital city, Riga, where buildings display 19th century style architecture, which has led to multiple buildings becoming UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Liechtenstein is a small country in southern Europe, famous for being the only rentable country, as in 2011 you were able to rent out the entire country for $70,000 a night to enjoy its alpine landscapes and medieval castles. Lithuania is a country on the Baltic Sea in northeastern Europe, which similarly to its other Baltic neighbors is home to medieval castles and dense forests, but Lithuania is also home to the oldest language of the Indo-European language family. Luxembourg is a small country in Western Europe, the only currently existing Grand Duchy in the world, known for its blend of French and German food and architecture, and for being an economically sound country, having the highest minimum wage in Europe and the second highest GDP per capita in the world. Malta is a small country made of two islands, Malta and Gozo, in the Mediterranean Sea, known for its mix of Arabic and European cuisine and buildings, and is home to megalithic temples that are older than the Stonehenge. Moldova is a country in Eastern Europe, a country struggling with the after effects of communism and earthquake in its capital city, a region fighting for independence, and despite its river and forest-heavy landscape dotted with monolithic monasteries, is the least visited country in Europe. Monaco is a small city-state on the French Riviera of Western Europe, the richest country per capita, filled with casinos, resorts, exotic gardens, pristine beaches, and large, extravagant French-style palaces and villas. Montenegro is a small country on the Balkan Peninsula. Formerly a part of Serbia, it gained independence in 2006 and is now home to over 100 beaches, large quantities of olive trees, and one of the cleanest rivers in the world, as well as the fortified city of Kotor. The Netherlands is a country in Western Europe, a country where 2/3 of the total area is below sea level, where biking is the main form of transportation, and where there are thousands of old working windmills, and where drug laws are surprisingly lenient. North Macedonia is a country on the Balkan Peninsula, famous for its name dispute with the Macedonia region of Greece, and for being part of the large Macedonian Empire, as well as having some of the oldest cities in Europe thanks to the Macedonian and Ottoman empires. North Ireland is a country in the United Kingdom, the only UK country that isn't on Great Britain, as it split from Ireland due to religious differences, and is home to several castles and riverside towns that have more Irish than English influence. Norway is a country in Scandinavia, known for its large amount of glacial lakes called fjords, being one of the countries where Vikings originated, for having the highest health and safety rankings in Europe, and for having some of the best Northern Lights views in the world. Poland is a country in northeastern Europe that is home to some of the best beaches in the non-Mediterranean part of Europe, as well as old castles and buildings, some of the most unpronounceable names for non-Polish speakers, and is also known for being the main target of the Nazis during World War II. Portugal is a country on the Iberian Peninsula of southwestern Europe, known for its history as a country that produced explorers such as Vasco da Gama, Ferdinand Magellan, and Pedro Alvarez Cabral, as well as for colonizing Brazil and its beaches and vibrant cities. Romania is a country in Eastern Europe, famous for its Gothic history, especially in the region of Transylvania, as well as its pristine deltas, wooden churches, and the mountainous scenery in the Romanian Carpathian Mountains. Russia is the largest country in the world, located on both Europe and Asia, but this will be about European Russia, which is where most of its population lives in cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, which house relics and architecture reflecting the Soviet-era Russia and where hot weather is a rarity. San Marino is a small city-state located entirely within Italy that is essentially a piece of the Middle Ages in the modern times, home to Mount Titano, which takes up a large part of San Marino's area, as well as large fortifications and towers. Scotland is a country in the United Kingdom known for its cultural differences to the rest of the UK in the form of their own language, clothing, food, and culture, as well as its beautiful scenery in the Scottish Highlands. Serbia is a country on the Balkan Peninsula that was the center of Yugoslavia and is known for its unique churches and cathedrals, for having the only rainforest on the Balkan Peninsula, and for being responsible for the start of World War I. Slovakia is a country in Central Europe known for being the other half of Czechoslovakia, and is also home to villages like this, which have been ranked some of Europe's most beautiful cities. Slovenia is a country in South Central Europe, formerly a part of Yugoslavia, home to a picturesque set of Alps which have multiple ski resorts, as well as over 10,000 caves and forests that cover nearly 2/3 of the entire country. Spain is a country on the Iberian Peninsula, famous for being the main colonizer of South and Latin America, thus spreading its language and culture, but also for its beaches and its unique culture on display in cities like Madrid and Barcelona, which is now seen in variants throughout the world. Sweden is a country in Scandinavia, famous for its socialist political system, which has contributed to its high safety and happiness rankings, and is also famous for its traditional Swedish meatballs, and for being the country of origin for furniture company IKEA. Switzerland is a country in South Central Europe, famous for being one of the most neutral countries in the world, because it has enough nuclear shelters for its entire population, and it also has the city Geneva, host of the Geneva Conventions. It's also known for its skiing in its mountains. Ukraine is a country in Eastern Europe, the largest of the former European Soviet states, and is currently known for its ancient city of Kiev, the center of the country that predates Russia, as well as for being the geographic center of Europe. The United Kingdom is a collective country that encompasses the island of Great Britain and part of Ireland in Western Europe. While its four countries, England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, are all separately known for individual things, the collective country of the United Kingdom is known for its history as the largest colonial empire and is one of the victors in both World Wars. The Vatican City, or the Holy See, is a small city-state located entirely within the Italian city of Rome, so small in fact that it's the smallest country in the world, taking up only 121 acres, and the country is considered the most important city in Christianity due to the Vatican building's importance in religion. Wales is a country in the United Kingdom that is similarly to Scotland, known for its cultural differences to the rest of the UK in the form of their own language, food, and culture, but is also known for having the longest town name in the world.